Hi guys, welcome to Super Budget Kitchen. That was cute. Welcome to Super Budget Kitchen. Today's episode is one of my husband's expertise, chicken Parmesan, and he is assisting me here in the kitchen.
Hi guys, I have a long list of ingredients for you today. So of course we're gonna have some breadcrumbs. I've got two different kinds just because we're nearly out of this one, so we're gonna combine that with the panko breadcrumbs. Then I've got some Italian seasoning, which has oregano, marjoram, thyme, rosemary, and sage. Then we've got chili powder, onion powder, cumin, paprika, cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, garlic salt, and some whole oregano, as well as some classic marinara. And we picked up some fresh mozzarella from our local Italian deli. And then we've got some shredded Parmesan cheese. And then, of course, some chicken breast. So those are the ingredients for my chicken parm recipe. These are the ingredients. We're going to have, I'm going to use 2 eggs because we're going to make 4 chicken parm. So we might need 3, but probably just 2. Then some all-purpose flour. Alright guys, so first step that we're going to do is we're going to flatten our chicken breasts, because when we cook them later on, that's going to ensure that they cook evenly. So I'm going to have my wife flatten those. So what she's going to do, she's got some plastic wrap, she's going to fold that over, and she's just going to flatten that with her mallet. So we're going to get those to probably about a ½ inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. Did a wonderful job of flattening these breasts. So as you can see, the surface area probably doubled, and they're nice and uniformly flattened. So that's exactly what we want out of our chicken breasts. So I'm gonna go ahead and season these. I don't know, I think it's really important to season them, because otherwise you kind of get a bland chicken parmesan, and that's not what I think about when I eat chicken parmesan. So I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning these. I always like to start off with some salt. So I'm just going to put some salt on here. Alright, and then we'll do some pepper. And when I season these, I just like to cover all of the surface area pretty much uniformly. So that's what I'm aiming for. Then I like my garlic salt. We're going to put that next. Healthy layer of garlic salt on there. Alright, now some onion powder. Alright, perfect. There's our onion powder. Next, I'm going to put on the paprika. I think paprika and chicken are probably one of the best matches in the kitchen that you can come across. So, generous portion of paprika on here. Alright, then splash of chili powder. Not as generous with the chili powder, but still I like the flavor of the chili powder. Then just a touch of cumin. Cumin can be a really strong spice, so I also don't use too much of that. Just a splash. And then some cayenne pepper. You can definitely taste the heat. Don't go overboard with the cayenne either. Alright, there's our cayenne. And then lastly, I do the Italian seasoning and the oregano. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a nice layer of herbs on. Perfect. So once you've got all of your spices on, press them into the chicken. Don't be shy to get your hands a little wet and dirty. Rub those spices into the chicken. Perfect. Now that we've got those rubbed in, we're going to flip it over. Same thing on the other side. Fresh slate for all our spices, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and do all of these breasts, and then we'll come back for the actual breading portion. We're done seasoning these. I did throw on some spaghetti in the background, because you can't have a chicken parm without spaghetti. Look out for our how to make spaghetti video in the future. We'll post that at a later date and time. This is all about the chicken parm though. So now that we've got these seasoned, reason that I season them first is so that when I make my spaghetti and we set up our flour and our breadcrumb station, these are just marinating in all those spices. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to dip these into flour. We're going to get them coated in flour very well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'll just rub it in. Get these nice and evenly coated. And you just want to make sure that everything is coated. You don't want any spots showing through. Alright, so I like to pick it up so that you can get him in all the little cracks. Still got a couple sides on the back side. Perfect. Once you've got that coated, like so, you can shake off all the excess flour, and she's ready to go to our egg station. So I'm going to throw her on this plate here, and I'm going to use my brush here, my basting brush, and we're going to coat these with egg yolk. Make sure you also get the sides. Alright, so I've got that side evenly done. Now we're just going to flip her and get the bottom side. If you see any flour, you got to make sure you get that wet so that the breadcrumbs will stick. If you don't get everything covered with the egg wash, then the breadcrumbs won't stick. Alright, perfect. So, ready to reverse her. We're going to do the same thing on this side. This was the biggest chicken breast, so she's going to be the most time consuming of the rest of these. Almost got her completely covered in the egg wash. Perfect. Also just making sure I get all of her edges. That's one spot people might tend to overlook, is all along the edges. So, looks like she's completely covered. Perfect. So now we're going to dip her into our breadcrumbs. I'm going to lift this up and dump her into the breadcrumbs. And again, remember to get the sides with your breadcrumbs. Alright. Flip her over. Oh, I see a spot that I missed with the egg wash, so I'm going to get that real quick. Perfect. That would have been awkward in the mouth. Glad I caught that. Alright, so we're going to fill that little patch with some breadcrumbs here. Perfect. Give that a little shake. And then lastly what I do, so I throw this into some parchment paper. I'm going to grab a rolling pin real quick. So I've got her on our parchment paper. Just going to do a quick roll over with the rolling pin. And that's going to smash all the breadcrumbs down so that those stick when we fry her. Alright. So that side's done. We're going to flip her. I see a couple spots that need some breadcrumbs, so we're going to get those probably from where my fingerprints were. Alright, perfect. Give that a nice light roll. Perfect. This one's ready to go onto a plate, and we'll do up the other ones. Alright guys, so we'll be right back after I get the rest of these through the flour and egg station and get them breaded, and then I'll show you how to fry them. We got our last chicken Parmesan breaded, so there they are, all four breaded. So they are ready to be fried. So I'm going to bring those over here. And so I put just enough to cover the bottom, not too much oil in the pan. This is just a vegetable oil. I've got it on about 4.5. Should be plenty hot now, so what we're going to go ahead and do is get to frying these bad boys. That's the sound you want to hear, is that sizzle. We're going to drop that down in. You don't need to shake these and flip them a whole bunch. We're just going to cook it 2 minutes one side, flip it, 2 minutes, done. And then we're going to bake these. So we're going to get to frying these. Oh, it looks great. I'm going to lay it down slowly because you don't want it to splash oil everywhere. Look at that golden brown. It looks amazing. So we're just going to cook this for 2 minutes. I'm going to throw this onto an oven sheet, and I'll show you how, because we're going to put some sauce and some mozzarella on top of this before we bake it. So I'll show you that once I get all 4 of these fried up, okay? Ooh. Here they are, guys, our chicken Parmesan. Look at them, golden brown. They look amazing, my goodness. So to make them even better, look at this fresh mozzarella we picked up from Spirinelli's. I'm gonna go ahead and put the final touches on these so we can throw them in the oven. So I'm just gonna slice a thin layer of this mozzarella, as you can see, not too thick. Just gonna throw that right there. Oh my gosh.
God, that's so delicious.
I'm gonna cut off another slice here.
Oh my God.
Oh, let's put that right there.
That's amazing. The best chicken Parmesan in the world.
Let's throw this guy right here. That's a pretty thick slice.
Perfect. Amazing.
Awesome, guys. So we've got our fresh mozzarella on top of our chicken parm. Now for the icing on top, guys. I just picked up, you can also make your sauce by scratch. I just picked up a jar from Spirinelli's also. Can't beat fresh marinara, so we're just going to put that on top of the mozzarella. I'm salivating here, my goodness. So we're just going to cover the cheese. I preheated our oven. I think I got it at like 375-ish. So we're going to throw these in the oven and bake them for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Just enough to heat up the sauce, melt the mozzarella, and bake these bad boys to perfection. Perfect. I think I measured out just the right amount. I'll probably heat up a little more just because we do have the spaghetti also. And again, I'll show you guys in a separate video how we go about making our sauce and spaghetti. But you have to watch if you're gonna make this dish. You gotta make the pair. So these are ready to go into the oven, guys. I'm gonna throw these in 375, 10 to 15 minutes. All right, guys. Here they are after 10 minutes.
Oh, my.
Oh, they look so amazing. Alright guys, final touch. I will give you guys a hint. I do put Parmesan in my sauce. If that sauce doesn't look amazing, I don't know what does. Just a splash around the edge there. Final touch. I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan on top here. And there you have it, guys. Chicken Parmesan from Super Bouncy Kitchen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share all your comments below. If you have any requests, guys, throw them in the comments. And many more dishes to come from Super Bouncy Kitchen, guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to eat this now. There it is, guys, chicken Parmesan. amazing. Alright guys, so we're going to try this chicken Parmesan real quick. I'm going to feed some to my wife. Oh.
I'm excited.
I'm just going to let you guys get a quick look of the inside. Look at that. Steam coming out. Get her a small bite here.
Thank you, Daddy, for cooking for Super Bouncy Kitchen again.
Alright guys, let's see if the judge likes it.
Oh.
That's it.
It's so tender and juicy.
I can't help. I'm gonna finish that bite.
I'm gonna give you some, Daddy. Papa back. I'll give it to you. This one, Dad.
You can really taste the spice from when we marinated it. It's really delicious. Thank you guys.
Thank you for watching Super Bouncy Kitchen. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and share some comments below. Until next.